I think there might be something wrong with me. I don't know what's real anymore.
Hey everyone, Ryan here, and I'm joined by Greg, and we are talking about American Horror Story Cult, episode 2 today.
Now, before we dive into the episode, hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of the breakdowns and other awesome videos on Rick and Morty, Twin Peaks, Preacher, and much more.
All right, so are you guys ready to talk about some clowns? Greg, are you ready?
No.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's quickly recap episode 2, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. So Allie continues to see clowns, and so does Ozzy. Kai's running for city council.
Which is why I'm here at City Hall picking up my paperwork so I can officially run for the seat on the city council that was made vacant by the tragic murder of Councilman Chang.
Winter is still a horrible babysitter, and she also gives Allie a, bubble bath. Allie and Ivy meet the new neighbors, and they're really weird.
Big Nicole Kidman fans, huh?
Oh, the biggest. We're co-vice presidents of the Michigan chapter of her fan club.
And then a pretty racist chef is murdered at their restaurant. And in the end, the power goes out and Allie shoots an unsuspecting friend.
All right, first off, guys, it's pretty clear that everyone is feeding into Allie's fears. The new neighbors, Winter, Kai, the news, obviously, and she's going nuts. She is targeted from basically everyone around her, and it is overwhelming her life, as well as Ozzy's.
Yeah, so Ozzy's having nightmares too. They're really realistic.
Yeah, super terrifying.
Just like his mom, and it looks like Winter's really playing a role in this too. She's really feeding these fears.
Also, Greg, we learned about Ozzy's full name, Ozymandias.
That's so cool. And poetry fans will recognize it from the piece by Percy B. Shelley.
And other fans will notice it from the name of the greatest, possibly the greatest episode of Breaking Bad ever.
It's the greatest episode of Breaking Bad ever.
Agreed.
You're the smartest guy I ever met. And you're too stupid to see. He made up his mind 10 minutes ago.
So what does this mean in the show's context? Well, the show covers Donald Trump, Charles Manson, Andy Warhol, amongst other cult leaders, and it's a reminder that even the most powerful commanders are mortal. King of Kings decay over time. Basically, guys, just hang tight, it won't last forever.
Now, how about those new neighbors that moved in? We're introduced to Meadow and Harrison Wilton. They're weird. Really weird. They're into bees, Nicole Kidman, Crystal Light, and of course, Bravo.
Drop by anytime if you want to hang or watch Bravo or something. I watch all the Real Housewives, even in Atlanta. Hey, do you go to Soul Cycle?
And suspiciously, they were the ones that were recording Kai's beatdown.
Exactly, so they have to be a part of Kai's plan, right?
At this point, I really feel like they're 2 of the 5 clowns we saw in the last episode. It's just so damn apparent right now.
Yeah.
Also, they really, really, really love Nicole Kidman. I can't stress that enough. They had the Stoker and Moulin Rouge posters in the background, and of course, Big Little Lies.
Have you seen Big Little Lies? She's transcendent.
Okay, one tiny side note, Kidman's great and all, but the true hero of that show is Laura Dern.
You're dead in this town, as is your puppet show.
Let's talk about Allie and Ivy's restaurant. It is led by Chef Roger, and he's pretty racist.
Get that cholo shit out of my kitchen before I shove this ladle up your ass.
Clearly, Allie and Ivy are not thorough when they interview new hires. They also hired Winter as their babysitter. But Roger doesn't last long. Allie actually finds his body hanging in the meat locker. And Pedro, the man that he was yelling at in the kitchen, is the suspect from what Detective Samuel says.
So far, we don't have any direct evidence, but we do have motive, and we have access.
I've known Pedro since we opened the restaurant. He didn't do this.
Now, it's more than likely that Pedro is being set up, and the real killer is in the kitchen. Maybe her, or him, or her. Now let's go back to Kai. This dude has balls. He literally shows up at Allie's doorstep asking for support for city council. 2 things here. Kai gets his news and facts from Facebook like too many people in 2017. I'm looking at you, Mom and Dad.
Mine too.
And 2, Allie claims to be concerned with building bridges amongst people from different backgrounds, but she's ironically building up the defenses in her own home to keep people out of it, and Kai uses this against her.
Are you gonna melt all this metal down and build a bridge?
I'm gonna need you to leave now.
All right, let's talk about Winter in this episode. She's obviously a bad babysitter. She's manipulating Ozzy, and then she targets Allie, and she literally draws a warm bath for Allie, and then kind of goes a little too far Is there a chance that she's drugging Allie, or is it all just like a mental manipulation, or what?
Well, they show the drugs again. They make it clear, the filmmakers show you those drugs, and then the giant wine glasses.
Yeah.
So someone could be playing with her that way. And not that she just may not be taking her drugs, is that possibly they're dosing her with something else.
Unfortunately, bath time is interrupted by a power outage in the house, and then Harrison comes over and makes it even worse for Allie.
I don't know what the hell that was about. He came over there and just put her anxiety up to 15 after all that and told her, like, what, 8 states are under a terrorist attack at the moment? I mean, why go to this extent to just screw with her this much? This is insane.
Yeah, this is why we definitely believe that the neighbors are in on this plan, this cult, because why else rile her up like this?
And
I mean,
also,
her anxieties are at a whole nother level. He also gave her the gun earlier in the episode, so all this fear mixed in with the gun, mixed in with alcohol, mixed in.
Yeah, and then also notice that Harrison was looking directly at Winter a lot during that scene too. He was talking right at her. So
wow,
just
details,
pay close
guys.
attention to that.
Details.
And then finally at the end of the episode, Allie shoots Pedro, and it looks like she killed him.
Yeah, I don't know. The fall is also really dramatic. Did you notice that? Yes, we noticed that it was very. He was shot right here, like super dramatic. They're probably gonna kill him just to make it makes Allie's life even worse. But it didn't look like a fatal shot from when I first saw it. Now it's time to talk about phobias. Obviously, it's a big theme this season. We're gonna try to catch every single one that we see each week, each episode. Obviously, Allie is suffering from a ton, but we're gonna be on the lookout for any other characters that might have some phobias. Let's start with the clowns.
Of course, you got chorophobia, the fear of clowns, trypophobia, the fear of clusters of small holes, circles, or bumps, and this week we got the honeycomb. And then lastly, we got one more phobia that the therapist thinks she might be suffering from. That's agoraphobia.
Yeah, agoraphobia is the fear of places or situations that might cause you helplessness, embarrassment, or panic.
I can't believe you did that.
I'm worried about you.
You should be.
As promised, each week we're gonna count down how many clowns show up and scare our main characters, and also scare Greg. He loves this segment. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That makes 6 total clowns this week. Good news, that's less than last week, and you must be thrilled.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Now let's talk about our favorite lines from episode 2. Greg, what do you got?
Oh, mine's gotta be from Harrison.
Lesbians, we're under attack.
They're my favorite part of this episode so far. They're a great break from the clowns, for me at least.
Yeah.
And it's only inevitable at this point that they're gonna end up being some of the clowns, just to ruin my day.
Yeah, the new neighbors are great, but my favorite line came from Kai.
Hello, ma'am. Miss? I never know what's right. Everything seems to offend nowadays.
I mean, this is pure Eric Cartman. He is just messing with Allie just to mess with her. He might not have even voted for Trump or agree with his policies, but he revels in the chaos, and he goes to her front door and just mocks her repeatedly.
Also, let's not forget about the line that the clown says to Ozzy. That was a great line.
Yes.
Am I asleep? Or are you real?
You're asleep.
All right, so that clown is real, 100% real, but who could that clown be?
I mean, it could be either a cop, therapist, who else you got? Maybe Harrison if he's really, really fast. Or his father. Okay, now it's time for our most up moments. Ryan, what you got?
I'm gonna say everything, literally everything that happened to Pedro. The poor guy works with a racist boss in the kitchen, just minding his business, going to work, has to deal with that stuff. Then he gets framed for the guy's murder when he's lifted up into a meat locker and dies on a hook. And then he goes to just deliver some candles and some battery chargers during a power outage to his boss, Allie, and he gets shot. Poor Pedro.
Mine's gotta be Ozzy's dream at the opening. I was okay with the clowns last week. This week, my anxiety kicked up to an 11, and I almost turned off the episode for a second. I could not take that, especially the silhouette of the two going past the bathroom door. That gave me chills. I did not like that at all.
All right, Greg, who is your winner for episode 2?
Oh, it's gotta be Nicole Kidman and Winter's wardrobe designer. Her outfits were on fire in this episode. I loved it. Straight up American Horror Story Coven look.
Yes, definitely. A big shout out to Big Little Lies. I think the winner is Kai, because nothing goes wrong for this guy. He literally has Councilman Chang killed. He has Allie shook as hell. He goes to her front door and mocks her to her face. And he gets away with anything. Like he's on a roll. Time to interrupt this breakdown for a random fact that I Googled.
Oh, Lord.
Give me your pinky.
Why?
I'm going to show you a trick. It's going to help you. Come on. Pinky to pinky.
The pinky swear or pinky promise is, for some weird reason, extremely popular amongst the characters of American Horror Story cult. But did you know it has existed since at least 1860 in the United States? You can find that in the Dictionary of the Americanisms. It might have gone back even further to the Japanese belief that soulmates were connected by a red string of fate attached to their pinkies. Also good to know, in Japan, a pinky swear meant that if you broke the promise for any reason, you must cut off your pinky.
Or in this case, instead of a pinky, it may be a hand.
I guess everybody's at home watching the president's speech.
Okay, and finally, we have one last question for the episode. Ryan, you started off.
Yeah, my question is basically about this cult. How do they have so many resources to pull off this stunt? I mean, the money needed, the logistics, the people, to scare one person.
The scare Allie. That's insane. It has to be about Ozzy, I would suspect.
Yeah, and saying that, it has to be about Ozzy's biological father, figuring out who the dad is, if the dad's in the picture trying to get a hold of him again, or someone in the cult is trying to get a hold of him. I think that is key to figuring it out. But still, they can buy houses across the street, everyone has clown costumes, the money needed, and how deeply entrenched this cult is crazy.
And just to piggyback off of all that too, I want to say like the police are in on this too as somewhat, or at least Detective Samuels.
Yeah.
Second time we've seen him, and this is the second time he's trying to pin the crime that would at least take 2 people to do, and he pins it on one person.
Yeah, there's no way one person is committing that murder, lifting someone up onto a hook in a meat locker and killing him.
Unless they're the Big Show or something, that's not gonna happen. On that note, who do you guys think the leader of the entire cult is? Maybe it's Kai, but he could also just be a tool in this whole entire process. We don't know just yet. I don't know, I think my money's on the therapist. But let us know in the comment section who you guys think it is.
Yes, hit us up down there in the comments. Also on Twitter, you can find us both on Twitter. Hit us up there, ask any questions, give us some theories you guys might have, and come back next week because we'll be diving into episode 3 of American Horror Story Cult.